Hi everyone, my name is Simon Serugi, the founder of Inbox Conversion, and in this video I'll show you how to make email marketing one of the most valuable assets of your brand and make 30 to 40% of the total revenue with it. This is a free course, and this video outlines everything you need to know to stop underutilizing the email list and turn your current Klaviyo account into an actual ATM that directly sell and increase LTV and do customer research for you as well in the process, which is extremely valuable, especially if you already hit that 100K mark, 100K a month mark, and you want to scale up further. So this will be the content I'll be covering, which is what to aim for, actually, the campaigns, the email campaigns you should do, the flows, the email flows, growing your list, which is very, very important, deliverability, and leveraging AI. This is not actually what you think it is. You'll see what I mean by this. And then there is a bonus, stop overpaying for Klaviyo after the February 18th price increase in 2025. For a bit of context, I am Simon Serugi, the founder of Inbox Conversion. I've been doing email marketing and retention strategy for the last 3-4 years, mainly for D2C e-commerce brands, and generated more than $6 million in revenue for my clients only in 2024. This is some of the company I work with. And here we are to the action right away. So the first part is what to aim for. What separates the biggest brands doing 50 to 100 million a year from those that, yes, they might be already pretty big, but they can't really go over that 7-figure mark, that 7-figure a year mark. And that specific thing that enables the other brands to do that is retention, meaning that the big bros in the game win because people keep buying the product over and over and over again. And the VIP buyers are well over 5, 10, 15K dollars in LTV. Just think about Apple, Dr. Squatch, Xclad, Gymshark. All these companies have in common that people are actually obsessed with the product. They're very loyal to the brand, and they can't literally function without the actual product coming to their home every once in a while. And I have bad news. Great retention is not actually made with email marketing and all those retention strategies. Retention is led by having a freakingly good product. And if you have an incredible product, people will keep spending on you because they literally can't function without it. Then it's just a matter of fostering that need better and keep them spending more and more and more. And this is what I call the cycle of product-driven retention, which is you develop an incredible product, or you have an incredible product that people want, enhance customer experience, foster customer loyalty, and encourage repeat purchases again and again and again. As a benchmark, your Klaviyo attributed revenue should be 30 to 40%, 30 to 45% more or less, depending on the industry. You should aim to from at least 25% to 45% and more. It's important to note, though, that you have to use this as a benchmark to see if you're currently missing some revenue from retention, not determining your whole store's retention performance with it. It's just an indicator that can help you make a decision and say, yeah, we are doing a great job with retention, or we are not doing a great job with retention. And you're probably thinking, no shit, Simon, but I guarantee there are a lot of people just take that Klaviyo dashboard as a benchmark and they say, yeah, we have a great retention, look at this, look at all this revenue. It doesn't work like that. Part 2, campaigns and segmentation. There are people that say you should send email to your list daily. There are people that say that they don't want to spam your list and you should send even one email a week is too much. And just send bi-weekly, for example. But who's right? In the ecom space, in the grand majority of the industries, neither. And the truth is, as a general level, that yes, more emails equals more sales. So you have to send as many as you can, as long as the unsubscribe rate and the spam complaints don't go through the roof. And the sweet spot for that, for most brands, is 3 emails a week. The types of campaigns you can send is, first of all, obviously promotions, so flash sales, holidays, product launches, and many more. But not only that, you can have great retention with zero coupons, zero discounts, and generally you should aim for that as much as you can, because people tend to be addicted to those. And if you have an audience that is addicted to your discounts, it's a very tough spot and it's very difficult to go out of that from that situation. So beware of how many discounts you send. And if you don't want to send discount, you should send educational content around the product, educational content about the problems you solve with your product, story-driven email campaigns, story of a success story, of the success of the founder, about the founder. You should display the bestsellers email of the month, of the most loved, and everything. Social proof campaigns. You let other people know how good your product is perceived to other people that already tried it, already bought it. Then there are the FAQ campaigns, and to be honest, there are literally millions of campaigns you can send. It depends really on your product. For example, there are also the reply campaign, which is very, very important. Not many people do this, but it's a feedback on what, you send basically an email and to which you ask for feedback to improve the product, what you think of it. And then, for example, there is the behind the scenes, what happens in production, who's the team behind it, because that really, really builds trust in the customer's mind. And who you should send your emails to, the basic 7 you need to have and you need to send to. Depending on the type of email you want to send, you have to nail segmentation. For example, it doesn't really make sense to send a how to use XYZ product if they never actually purchase the product, to people that never actually purchase the product. It's better to target people that are already buyers with something else like you bought this, check this out type of campaigns. But as a general rule, the only segments worth having for the majority of your email campaigns should be the 90 days engaged clients, 90 days engaged prospects, VIP segment, and re-engagement opportunities. This is it. On a general level, you don't need anything else if you want to cover the basics. Don't overcomplicate it unless you have like a 200 to 500k active people list, and the 70% of the emails will be directed to both the 90-day clients and 90-day engaged prospects. And now the big question that is basically taking the whole email marketing industry to hell: email designs or plain text emails. This is a pretty much a controversial opinion, but you have to do what works best for your brand. If you sell fidget spinner, it's gonna be hard and unnecessary to create engaging stories that resonate with the audience, the channel, that frustration they have, and a solution to that, because it's a freaking fidget spinner, But if you sell anti-acne skincare products, it starts to make sense, so much more sense to do that. If you sell luxury products, jewelry, it's not a smart branding strategy to send really, really direct response emails every time. There is a place for it, but not every time, So if you sell, for example, cats and dogs toys and meals, it makes a bit more sense to have plain text emails, because you can even inject humor, memes, and more. But what I can tell you for sure in general is this: in general, not always, but 95% of the times, plain text emails with good copywriting and market research will always outperform heavily designed emails. I don't make the rules, it's just reality. And no, I don't say this because at inboxconversion.com we can make designed emails, we make a bunch of them, actually maybe the majority of them I'd say, but it's true. But depending on other factors, even the e-commerce owners don't want those plain text emails. They want to cover more the branding part of the email. And sometimes it's not even, fundamental to do that. For example, the fidget spinner we saw a minute ago. Part 3 is flows. This is the biggest leverage in your email marketing strategy, because once they're set up and masterfully made, they'll continue to print revenue on autopilot with zero additional work on your end. So please nail this out. Not having the basic 6-7 flow set up is a financially bad decision, period. Take a look at this, for example. This is a client of mine. Before me, they had the worst 3 flows I've ever seen in my life. I revamped them. By the way, this is a jewelry company. And I created some new ones, some new flows. And in the last 2 months, this is recent data, I don't even work with them anymore, but this is recent data, from January and February 2025, without me touching anything, they made $21,856. Without the welcome flow, these are $14,529, as you can see here. And the thing the thing I want you to understand is this. As you can see, the flow that is generating the most revenue in these 2 months, it wasn't the welcome flow, it wasn't the abandoned cart flow, it was the thank you flow. It was the thank you flow. Basically, whenever someone made a purchase, that email flow triggered, and every time the flow triggered, they made $83.51. For every time someone purchased, they made on autopilot $83, which is a crazy number. This is the revenue per recipient number. And in those 2 months, without moving a finger, with no additional advertising cost, they made $8,000, almost $9,000. And then there is the abandoned cart flow, the happy birthday, the burst of the abandoned checkout, and many, many more. What about in the last 6 months? Let's run some math. The revenue generated in the last 6 months was $63,000. And the question is, would you turn down a $63,000 check every 6 months with zero additional work on your end, zero additional ad spend on your end, that repeats every single 6 months on 6 months forever? I don't think so. And this is the actual proof. And if you want to have even bigger results, these are the top 6 basic flows you absolutely need. And if you don't have them clearly and perfectly made, you are missing out on a ton of revenue that compounds month over month over month, over years, over years, over years. The first one is a welcome offer with a pop-up offer. More on this on the next section, because you're probably saying, I don't want to give up 10%, 20% discount on the first order. Fair enough, it's not the only way you can do that. Then there is the abandoned checkout, abandoned cart. These two are 2 different things. Some people don't know this, and it's crazy in 2025, but they are not the same. They're not the same things. And if you have only one, you're probably missing the other, and you're missing a lot of abandonments. Then there is the site abandonment, the post-purchase flow with smart direct upsells or long upsells, depending on the product you sell, if it's applicable. The win back flow, and then I think the abandoned product is there. I thought I forgot about that, but it's here, and it's very, very, very important. And this is the basic email funnel. As you see, there is the opt-in, then they go to the welcome flow. If they go to the site, if they go to the browse abandon, if they go to the product and they don't buy, they receive the follow-ups. If they go to the cart, if they add to cart and don't buy, they receive the follow-ups. If they go to checkout and don't buy, they receive the follow-ups. If they buy, all these 3 under a certain period of time and condition will trigger, and they will make revenue for you. Obviously, if someone goes to opt-in, then welcome to and browse and cart, only the cart will trigger, not the other 2. And this is done within Klaviyo. You probably already know this, because if you do, more than 100K a month, more than 50, 80, 100 to 100K a month, you probably know this. But in case you don't, now you know. Are email flows only for sales? This is a big misconception, and people only do that for sales, but no. One of the best use cases for email flows is also customer research and prospect research, basically market research. Why someone was a recurrent buyer and then they churned, why some people got in the welcome flow and then they didn't buy. If you don't know why people stopped doing something good or never done something like buying, you need to know. And a good retention system should retain as much as possible, and then understand why the people that we couldn't retain actually didn't retain. We have to understand why, and then tweak in the funnel and overcome those objections and solve those problems that made the customer churn, for example. And this is a cool graphic I made, the customer journey analysis funnel. There is the welcome flow entry, in which the customer entered the welcome process. Then there is the purchase decision, customer decide to buy or not to buy. Then there is the churn identification after they actually bought something, who identifies, thanks to the flows, why people stop buying it, because there are some people in your funnel that probably bought like 4, 5, 6 times and then they completely stopped. And you have to know why. Otherwise, you can't grow past that 7-figure mark, go to 8 figures. This is how really successful people actually operate. They need to know the why before they can act on a solution. And then there is the retention analysis, in which we analyze the reasons for retention or the reasons for churn. And if you want a visual and a high-level example of that retention analysis, here it is. This is an abandoned cart flow. As you can see, there is the whole thing, and at the end of it, there is the last email that say, why didn't you purchase? And this is basically an email in which someone can reply directly, or can basically touch a button, and in that button will, and in the backend, that button will basically register the information they choose. For example, is it too pricey? I'm not really sold on it for X reason. The shipping is too high. I want the shipping cost is too high, or maybe for another reason. We basically lay out the most probable 5-6 causes, and whatever they click, now you have a clue on what to work on and why some people don't buy, for example. Then there is part 5, growing the list. Growing your list is an extreme leverage to have in your business, but how do you actually do that? The simplest way to do that is by having a pop-up in your website. You pay a lot of money on ads every single damn day, and you need to retain a part of the customer. But I don't want to give 10-15% of profits on the first order. I agree if you're selling a product that it's not meant to be bought again. But if you're selling skincare, supplements, beauty products, jewelry, or similar, something that can be bought again, either a consumable or apparel that can be bought again, you're basically ripping yourself off if you don't do that. And this is why, this is the truth of ad traffic. There are people that watches your ad, a percentage of people go to the website, and of those people that go to the website, only a 3 to 5 to 8%, depending on what you sell, how good you are, how your CRO is, will convert. But the rest of the people will be gone forever. Otherwise, you spend more money on ads again to redirect them on the traffic again. But if you can catch those people before and retarget them with emails and SMS at a fraction of the cost, why not doing that? I don't understand why people that sell consumables or something like this, products like this, don't do that, because they are basically ripping themselves off. And all those people here that didn't buy, you will never know why they didn't buy. This is the other thing, because maybe the other question or doubt about the product, about shipping, about delivery, or maybe they were just not sold enough. That's why you need a pop-up like this. This is some example of Hexclad, the mystery offer for Dr. Squatch. By the way, I've done it. The mystery offers really work well. And then there is, for example, this is another brand, Harris, which are very, very good with email marketing. All those people that enter the email funnel will be converted, and you can advertise to them through email at a fraction of the cost, as I said. Plus, you're paying for Klaviyo or another ESP, whatever you're using, SendLane, MailChimp, SendGrid. You're paying for it anyway. So it is a waste of resources and money and sunk cost to not keep emailing them. And now you'll say, this, I heard this probably a million times. This is okay if my average order value is $20 to $50, $60, $80, whatever. But if I sell something a bit more high ticket, like jewelry, my average order value is way above $100, some orders being maybe also $2,000. In this case, it's way better to have a $20 off type of offer instead a percentage off. And this will save a ton of margin without losing the appeal to the customers. Even better, you could say that shipping is on us on orders over XYZ dollars. And not only in this case you'd be growing your list and convert otherwise lost prospects and sales, but you'd increase also the AOV in the process. And this, I guess, it's pretty cool. Part 5 is deliverability. This can be either the easiest thing ever or your biggest enemy, depending on what buttons you touch. And the sad reality about this is that most people have no clue how simple it can be to have eye on like deliverability, and it all comes down to sending to engage people, nailing down the technical part, in all those in email on email precaution to do that before sending, send actually good content, and treating your list as real humans and not numbers on a screen. Now we're going to cover that on detail one by one. Sending to engage people. This is already covered, partially I already covered it at the beginning of this video, but by sending only to 90 days engaged segment, the majority of the times you basically exclude all those people that basically are not engaged with you anymore. And this is perfect for your deliverability, because deliverability is a spectrum. Even if all the other variables are perfect for optimal deliverability, if you send to people that don't open your emails anymore, you're going to spam sooner or later. I guarantee that right now, every time you send an email, you're continuing to send some of the emails to people that are already in spam, and they are not, and probably they didn't open the last 15, 20, 25 emails you sent, and this is just detrimental for your deliverability. And no, don't worry, all those people that fall behind that 90 days engaged segment are going to get reactivated once in a while with amazing offers. So we don't leave no soldiers behind, don't worry. Then there is nailing down the technical part. With this, I mean SPF, DKIM, DMR, connecting your ISP to your own sending IP and not some shared one provided by the ESP that is now mandatory if you send more than 5K emails in a day. And 99% of established brands have this nailed. So this is not probably your problem right now. But if you are eager to know if everything to the last minute detail is perfect, just follow this link. An email will pop up when you press it, and then you send with Klaviyo basically a preview email to that provided address, and there will be a dashboard basically in which you can see what is wrong, what is not wrong, what is perfect, what is not, etc., etc. Then there are the in-email precaution to do before sending. This is very, very simple, yet most brands don't do it for some reason, and that freaks me out, to be honest, because they're like things that you can solve in 2 minutes before sending an email, if not less. Especially with a 50K people or more, not nailing this will result in more emails sent to spam to people that could have bought from you. So, for example, you have to always add alt text in every single image in the email. You need to compress the images so that they weigh less than a megabyte. You can do this with compressor.io. This also helps a lot with conversions and engagement, because when they open the email, if it's taking more than 0.001 second to actually render that email, people are just gonna go off the email basically. Make sure to not exceed the size recommended. In the email editor in Klaviyo, click preview and test. In the top right, you'll see this bar here. If it's green, you're good to go. Otherwise, cut down some HTML, because it's basically making your email fat. And ESPs like Outlook, Gmails don't like that. And then you have to check all the links and make sure they're not broken. This is really, really important. Then there is the send good content, and you can't escape this. People are not gonna open your emails if you don't generally want to help them and give them solution, tips, curiosity, and send good content on a general level. And if they don't open your emails, your overall deliverability will plummet, and people are going to churn sooner, and they're not gonna buy from you, basically. This is really, really important. Treat your email list as real humans and not numbers. Why does this matter with deliverability? Keep up with me for 30 seconds and you'll understand why. The thing is, most email marketers I know treat the people on your list. Most email marketers I know treat the people on the list like numbers on a screen, basically. And it's not their fault. We're programmed to think like that because we need data to do informed decision. Look, we got 33% open rates and 1.3% click rates. And 1.3% click rates. Okay, well, but the reality is that behind every single open and click, there is an actual person. Google, Outlook, and all those giants know that and reward those users that behave like real humans. And what's the most humanly action someone can do when she or he receives an email? Replying to the email. Whenever someone replies to your email, this triggers the Gmail and Outlook system and says this guy is actually human. It doesn't send spam. People are actually engaging. And push you in the primary inbox instead of promotion or spam. And more people in the inbox means more eyeballs to your emails. That means more sales and more money to your bank account, basically. Then there is the part 6, to basically have the best asset in the world, and basically squeeze every single dollar with email marketing, with your email list. And that part 6 is leveraging AI. This is not what you think it is. AI is not good with copywriting yet. Maybe it's pretty good with drafts, but not really. You always have to tweak them for a good 50-60% at least, at the very least. But what it's good at is creating new angles and search for content angles that sell and do market research. And we're going to cover mostly the market research and searching for new angles for an email. In fact, in the recent months, there is a new feature that is very popular in the AI world. And that feature is deep search, which is an AI agent that uses reasoning to synthesize large amounts of online information and sites and complete multi-step research for you. And not only that, it also gives you all the sources that it searched, so you can actually check them manually if you want. And I made an example. Let's say you want to do an email that highlights a pain that your potential customer have, but you don't want to actually search on the internet the actual very vivid description of it, the actual thoughts they have in their mind. This is market research 101, copywriting research 101, basically. To do that, you go to ChatGPT Plus. If you don't have that, you can use Perplexity AI that have this feature for free. I think also Grok, the XAI, Elon Musk AI. And now you will run a prompt. For example, what are the least known pain points and insecurities about having acne for girls over 20 years old? Search in blogs, comments, Reddit, and communities. Now you run it. Make sure to have deep search pressed, basically. And you run the prompt. It will probably ask you about the specific type of pain you're searching for, like emotional, in the dating world, in the workplace, etc. And the more specific you are with your target audience, demographics and everything, the more accurate the research will be. And after checking 28 sources, this is a result. A goldmine of info and unique experiences, pain points, and dissatisfaction you can use in your copy, make stories, and make the people in your list feeling understood. And if you want to check the whole conversation, if you want this guide complete for you, just go to my site in the description, scroll down at the very end, and you'll find the link to it, the way to get it. Then there is the bonus. Stop overpaying Klaviyo. Klaviyo and every other ESP are becoming more expensive every single year, and knowing how to reduce that bill without affecting your sales is crucial. Here's exactly how you can do that. Then I made this cool AI image with DALL-E, with ChatGPT. To be honest, it's becoming really cool. If you follow this section and act on it, actually act on what I say, I guarantee you will probably be in the lower tier of Klaviyo after you do all this, and you suppress all the people that I tell you to suppress. All this obviously by not damaging your Klaviyo revenue and email marketing revenue. Nothing will be affected, I promise you. So create this big segment, the first one, and you call it the exclusion segment. Now just post the video if you want and copy paste it in your Klaviyo account. And there is the second one, and maybe the second one is gonna be more impactful, but you have to suppress those people. You have to stop sending emails to those who are not reading or opening your emails. Would you still keep talking to someone that just stays still and he pretends you don't exist? I don't think so. And we're going to suppress, as a matter of fact, every single person who received at least 13 emails for you and never opened it or clicked any of them. I call it spam traps because yes, they are spam traps, because I guarantee that people that didn't open 13, 15 emails from you, they are going to spam, or either they're not even, and if they are going to promotion, which is very unlikely to be honest, they're not gonna buy from you. I guarantee that. I guarantee they're not gonna buy from you. This is the actual segment. It's very, very important that you do not tweak anything, otherwise the logic behind it will fail completely. And if you are scared to surprise all those peoples, good, because it means that it's time for a change and time to pay less for Klaviyo while squeezing more money out of Klaviyo anyway. And if you want a 3-week sprint retention on a completely commission-based model, I just take a fraction of what I actually bring to your company. If you're making at the very least 50K a month, you should change your retention game forever and explode your profits. There is the direct link in the description to book a call with me, and I will just run a demo of what we can actually do for your e-commerce store. And if you want all this document, just go to my main site, scroll down, and you will see how to get it in a flash. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, if you want me to cover anything related to retention, email marketing, SMS, loyalty programs, all this kind of stuff, just do a question down below and I will make a video about it. I hope this was valuable to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe.